Bill Shaka and the Soul Searchers, and we're talking to Bill about his plans for the upcoming season, where they're going to be playing. What are your upcoming gigs?
As I said, we have the Voodoo Grill coming up on Friday evening. That's the duo, though. That's the Swamp Shaka duo.
Okay. That's not the whole band, then.
That's not the whole band. We supplement our income with duo work as well.
That's
and that means I don't bring my PA with me. I sing through an old custom amplifier.
Nice,
and it gives it that trans. Somebody said to me, I saw you singing through that amplifier. And I said, well, these guys are unprofessional. He said, until I heard it, and I said, what's the difference? I mean, to me, if you're playing in a duo situation, playing some really old time sounding stuff, well, if you go back in history, you look at all those cats in Chicago in the 1950s, they're singing through their amplifier and playing guitar through their amplifier at the same time, I mean, small amplifier. I'm not so hung up on the having the latest and greatest technology, and I'm sure it has its place. I'm not certainly not putting that down, but you make what you have work for you.
Always.
Always.
Always, you always do that. No, I did my band opened up for a youth brigade.
Okay.
Back in the 80s, and we were in a punk band. We didn't even have, at the time, we didn't have a guitar.
Right. All right.
No, we had keyboards, bass. We did have a drummer and myself. And my musicians were going, they're going to beat us up. And I'm like, no. It's all a frame of mind, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's right.
I DJ for these people. It's a frame of mind. Yeah. So what I had done, I bought I got this song called Krista. And it's about the teacher that got blown up in the space shuttle.
Okay.
So I bought a space shuttle, battery operated space shuttle, about this big. Cost me like $25, right?
Okay.
It was battery operated. Well, this was in the Alexandria Ballroom at the Alexandria Hotel in downtown Los Angeles.
Okay.
The place was packed with little kids. We're going through the set. They're throwing things at us. I get into the Krista song.
That good, huh?
Get into the Krista song. It breaks. There's a break, and I take the shuttle and I fling it.
Oh, great!
And it goes up to the ceiling, hits the ceiling, comes down and crashes it. And the punks went mental. They loved us after that. Well, I mean, we got so many gigs because of that.
I just had a similar experience at the Sail Fest in New London a few weeks back. I bought a mannequin that I had gotten off the side of the street several years back, but this thing came out of probably the early 50s or something. So he's pretty rough around the edges, and I call him Boy. And he's dressed in a bib that says, I love my daddy. And he's got a tank top on, he ain't wearing no drawers, but it's low enough, and some nice long tube socks, and I was, by the end of the performance, Boy was, he was ready to go into the drum set, you know what I mean? He was going to pull a Kurt Cobain, and I had to stop Boy, actually, at the end. If it wasn't me holding Boy back, Boy would have gone into that drum set. And Rob, the drummer, he's a little anal about that stuff because I used to bang on his cymbals with my thimbles. When I play washboard, I'll bang on his cymbals. Bill, please, I gotta ask you not to do that because if these are $700 cymbals, and you're leaving little marks on them with those thimbles. So now so shortly after that, somebody gave me a little cymbal. Look like somebody out of a middle school band or something. So I set that up on stage now. Of course, I have to hold it down with my foot so it doesn't go flying over when I hit it. But I have my own cymbal now. And I didn't even have to pay for it. It's got more character than those damn $700 cymbals do.
Well, it's funny you said that because when the band that I was in Los Angeles, Green Peter, my other founding member was in a band, and they were like wealthy Jewish boys who had they rehearsed.
Do I know who you're talking about?
They rehearsed in a 24-track studio.
Okay.
They rehearsed there.
Yeah.
And we rehearsed in this little Wilshire Fine Arts studio where the Isley Brothers used to rehearse when they first started.
Yeah.
Run down, old microphones, old amps, old PA systems. And people, Dougie, who was the co-founder, Doug Green, he'd say, why doesn't my band sound good? Everyone likes this band, and we have nothing.
Yeah.
And my other band has everything, and no one likes us. What's the problem?
That's right.
Bro, your band has no soul. We have soul here.
Doesn't it always boil down to the soul? And I'll say, you know, I mean, music to me is not supposed to be perfect. Number one,
Right.
in my opinion.
It's
You know?
art and interpretation.
Yeah, it's interpretation. And you know, and your soul expression on one night might come out this way, on another day it'll come out this way. That's why set lists are non-existent. Never
Right.
will be. It's off the top of your head and heart.
Right.
You know, and it comes out the way it comes out,
Yeah.
with all its inadequacies. But
Yeah.
those little inadequacies can make for some mighty fine music.
Right,
Sometimes,
right,
you know.
right.
I mean, I'm a big fan of, you know, Tom Waits and the way sound sculpting to me is really
There
important.
you go. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
I mean, and I call him Mike Arafay, by the way. I nicknamed him the sound sculptor, and he loved that.
Yeah.
But it's making noise with things.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not that we're not serious about our craft and our music, but you know, I have no objections to sticking the mic in front of the monitor or the PA and making it feed back, you know, because sometimes it could be an appealing sound, you know. I mean,
here's another one. We Nick Lamagna, his family comes from this town, which he never did, but his family, there's a social building with his grandfather's name on it.
okay.
He played in a band called the TVs, which were a punk band, and he would sub guitar player because their bass player played guitar for us. So anyways, make a long story short, he had this project called Acid Bash. Private, it was a private, it wasn't a real band. He'd get gigs, and he'd invite musicians to perform the show that he was booking, but the in to be in, or the rules of the Acid Bash game was you can't do what you do in your band.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was a vocalist,
Yeah.
and I don't play an instrument, and he's inviting me. So what do I do?
I've heard of those approaches before with people, you know, with other bands doing them, and then you got like the throbbing gristle approach, you know. You you play whatever, you know. You play an instrument you generally don't play.
Well,
you know how to play, you know.
This was so funny because I didn't know what to do. So I had a Casio calculator that had music notes on it, and I plugged it into a pedal, a distortion pedal that I use for my voice, and then I ran a mic in front of the amp, and I just kept playing these stupid little notes. But the funny thing about it, it was so bad. The song, I think we did a Led Zeppelin song to start with, and it was like so horribly bad. It was just total noise. When we stopped, there was like maybe 4 seconds of the audience. It was a packed house. 4 seconds of just like dead silence, and like they did not know if we were really that bad. We were trying to put something on them, or if this was like new music, and so they did not. They had no idea. And then it took about maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and we got an applause. I was going. I turned to the other guys, and they were all laughing because it's a joke to them. There was nothing real about it, but So it's all about noise and performance and about what people expect.
Performance art, it's a visual thing. I always say that too. It's a visual thing, which is part of the entertainment. Is a visual. You know, I mean, you know, if you stand there and you don't make any facial expressions, and you stand in one spot the whole gig, you know, and I mean, to me, it's just about always creating some sort of a feeling or gesture, you know, or something, you know. I mean. You know, that's part of the real music. It's part of it being real music, you know.
Well, we're going to finish things off. This is Peter Wesley Bastone and Bill Shaka, and we're going to say adios from the couch Don't forget to watch Media Factory Show TV, and you'll be able to watch this online on the NetShows Collective, www.netshows.us. Did I throw an extra W in there? I'm sorry. There's only 3 W's on www. And that's it. Adios.
Adios.